Hi there, BookTube! My name is Cristina and today I'm here to share with you the titles about which I'm excited this spring. So these are all new releases of 2019 and some of them already are out there because they were published like at the beginning of March, and some others will be soon released. So I just thought that I will share with you all of the titles that make me excited and that I'm waiting for and that maybe I will buy when I will have the opportunity to, because I'm on a book buying ban and you probably know it if you're following me, but yeah, I will probably buy my next books on my birthday, so I'm choosing carefully what kind of books I want to. And before filming this video I had a longer list, but I actually deleted a couple of books after I read some of the reviews out there, because some reviews are very useful when they explain to you a little bit more about what goes on in a book, so that you may actually decide if you're interested or not in that kind of story. And these are the 7 books that I'm waiting for and I'm hoping to read soon. And by the way, sorry for the strange light, it's just the light that I have in my room. It's not natural because it's after work and I'm tired and I look like death, and that's the reason why. And second of all, since I'm tired, I'm too lazy to take my lights out. So I'm sorry if I seem very strange, if there is a shadow behind me, I'm so sorry, but I really wanted to film and to put a video out there this week, so yeah, just bear with me please. So without further ado, let me get right into the titles. The first one, with an amazing cover, is We Rule the Night by Claire Bartlett. And this book is all about 2 female protagonists, young protagonists. I believe that they're both like around 17 or 18 years old, and we're following a girl whose purpose is to build weapons, I believe, or something like that, and she is discovered in using illegal magic, because magic is illegal in this world. And the other girl is the daughter of a general, and she just sneaks into army by dressing like a boy, and she has been discovered, so they're both punished and they are sent to be part of this kind of magical flying air force something like that. So I believe that it's an interesting mix of magic and technology, and this is something that I really want to see. But moreover, the thing that really drew me to this is that this book has been released on the 2nd of April and there are some reviews out there already, and the people stated that there is no romance. So a huge plus. It's so rare to find a book without romance nowadays, and it's about female friendship. So again, something that I unfortunately seldom see in its true and beautiful form. So they start as 2 enemies because the 2 girls, they cannot really stand each other, and I believe that they work their relationship towards a kind of an agreement, maybe a friendship at the end. So yeah, I'm quite excited to read this book. The second book on my list has been released again at the beginning of April on the 9th, and this is the one that really got me excited from last year. It's one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I don't know for what reason, because from what I got, I believe that it's a debut novel, so I know nothing about the author, and it's Joanne He, and the book with this beautiful cover is Descendants of the Crane. And I don't know if it's about the cover, probably yes, or it's about the premise of the book. It's based on Chinese folklore and a bit of history, so it has kind of a Chinese historical setting, and we follow this princess who always tried to escape her duties and her responsibilities, but her father is brutally killed. And so she becomes queen suddenly, and she needs to figure out how to deal with this situation. But most than anything, she just wants to discover and find out who killed her father. So she gets involved with a man, I believe, who is a magician, and magic again in this world is forbidden, so kind of a common theme here. and she just hires this man in order to discover what happened to her father. And so we're traveling this kingdom and this, I believe, court life, while following this princess who isn't really up to the role, but she's trying her best. And I don't know, I just love this cover for some reason, and the title of the book, something in it really calls to me. Maybe I will be completely wrong and I will not enjoy it, but I so hope to love it. Next is a book that has been released on the 17th of April, and this one is actually a graphic novel by Mai Nguyen, and it's Pilu of the Woods. And just look at this adorable cover. This is again about friendship, about loss, about finding yourself, and I don't know what you think about it, but usually when I'm going into graphic novels I try to know as little as possible. So we're following a girl, Willow, and Pilu, who is a lost spirit, and Willow escapes from home one day. She runs off and she meets Pilu in the woods, and she discovers that Pilu is actually a tree spirit, and they both are trying to get back home because they got lost at a certain point of this adventure. So this is all that I really need to know. The cover is adorable, I love the colors, I love the idea, and I just hope that it will be lovely and warm and oh, you know what I'm talking about, just the fuzzy feelings. That's it. That's what I'm searching for. Next is again a fantasy, and this one has been released on the 23rd of April, and it's the first in a trilogy or a duology, not sure, and it's no trilogy and it's The Tiger at Midnight, with this beautiful cover by, I have no idea how to pronounce it, Swati Terdhala. So sorry. And what really got me into this is that on Goodreads it says that it's inspired by ancient Indian and Hindu mythology. So this is something that draws me in, and we follow two characters, I believe, a male and a female character. The female is an assassin or a poisoner or something like that, and the male is the nephew or the son of a very well-known general, and the girl is trying to kill the general. So their path, they cross, of course, like all the time, and from there something starts. So I know very little about like the plot itself, but I was quite interested by the mythological aspect of it. So if it's really based on that kind of mythology, then I'm quite curious to see what happens with this book. Next is a book that will be released on May 2nd, and it's again a fantasy with gorgeous cover. I don't know what it is with covers this spring, but they're all beautiful. And this one is Nocturna by Maya Motaine, no idea how to pronounce it, and Goodreads says that it's the first one, so in a duology, in a trilogy, in a series, no idea. And here again we follow two characters, a male and a female character, so they start their adventure quite separate. The girl, the very interesting thing about this book is that the girl is a face shifter. She uses this kind of magic that helps her to look like whoever she wants, to the point that she doesn't even remember how she is made, like her actual face. And on the other side we're following a boy who is the prince of the kingdom, and they paths collide, and they're both like, the girl uses this magic and she's at risk of losing the magic because she's forced into an impossible mission, and the guy, he really wants his brother back, and so he deals with forbidden magic. And what Goodreads says about it is that when their fates collide, they accidentally unlock a terrible and ancient power, which, if not contained, will devour the world. And with the fate of the world in their hands, Alfie and Finn must race to vanquish what they have unleashed, even if it means facing the deepest darkness in their pasts. So this one really doesn't quite resonate with me that much, not as much as other books on this list, but I'm still quite curious about this kind of story and the cover. Yeah, this is one of the cases in which this can become actually a cover buy. Next is a book that will be released on May 14th, and it's again a fantasy. This one is set in Middle East from what I can tell. We have jinns and magical creatures, I believe. So this is a book that really got my interest because of its cultural aspect and because of the description that Goodreads gives about it. And the book is The Candle and the Flame by Nafisa Azad. And here we follow our main protagonist, who is a woman or a young girl, and she is one of the last survivors from a massacre, and now she lives in this city that, from what I got, is a melting pot of cultures. And what really got me into this is this bit of description from Goodreads. The author weaves an immersive tale of magic and the importance of names, fiercely independent women, and perhaps most importantly, the work for harmony within a city of 1,000 cultures and cadences. So I believe that this is a very important matter nowadays, wherever you live, and so I think that it's important to see fantasies dealing with this matter too. The last book on my list will be released on May 28th, and it's These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling, and I believe that it's the first one in, I don't know, duology series, have no idea. And here the setting is the city of Salem. So of course we're dealing with witches, but we're dealing with them nowadays, and our protagonist is actually a real and elemental witch, and she just needs to hide her powers. She's part of a coven. Her ex-girlfriend is actually an elementalist too, and she lives pretty much a normal life, as much as a witch can live a normal life out there. And she meets a girl, she falls in love with her, she tries to date her, but of course she needs to deal with her ex-girlfriend. And she has a best friend that, from what I get, she's a non-witch, and everything gets quite more complicated when suddenly signs of a sacrifice, a blood kind of sacrifice, start to pop up here and there, and something horrible happens during a party, and so our protagonist needs to figure out what happened, and she needs to partner with her ex-girlfriend to solve the case while trying to date with her new love interest. So here, of course, I'm all in for witches, Salem, elemental magic, because that's my favorite kind of magic. If you don't know it, then this is it. This is my favorite kind of magic. And of course, female-female relationships, because they are not represented enough out there, so I'm happy to see some, of course, and I just hope that it will be an enjoyable and light kind of read, because it sounds like a contemporary with just sprinkles of magic here and there, so I hope that it will be something like that. And this concludes my video with the 7 titles about which I'm excited for this spring. Please let me know down below if you've already read some of these, or if you're planning to buy some of these, or if you're generally interested in some of these titles. I understand that they are mostly fantasies, but that's because this is kind of my favorite genre and my jam, and yeah, I just go with it. And when I find something different, of course I read other genres too, but then I don't know, the descriptions and new releases on Goodreads always for some reason sounds better when they are fantasies. I'm not so drawn to contemporaries when they are described on Goodreads. I usually start reading them if someone recommends them to me. So if you have recommendations in that case, then you're more than welcome. And this is it for this video. I hope to see you very, very soon in my next one. And for now, bye! Ciao!